Hello and welcome everybody from the beautiful Bristol, Tennessee. We are here tonight with the Full Throttle Next Gen Series brought to you by 811 Dig. It looks like everybody's getting gridded up here, having a little bit of an issue with the stream going on here at the beginning, so having to get everything situated here, but it looks like we've got everything going now as we're getting ready for the grid. It looks like Colin Forrester is going to be your race leader going into this race tonight here at the last great Coliseum 135. It's going to be an interesting night. It's going to go ahead and pull the grid up here. Go ahead and get on to those cars as riding on board here with that number 9, Colin Forrester. Going ahead and pulling that pole position here tonight as Brian Hubel in that 19 going to pull that outside pole position in that second place. And you got Ed DeBauer in that third position. David Salter in that 88 machine sitting in that fourth position. You got last week's race winner, James Morgan, sitting in that fifth spot. And it looks like Josh Abbey has not spawned in yet, but he is currently sitting in that sixth spot. Clayton Kincart currently sitting in that eighth spot, with William Brown sitting on his outside in eighth. You got Mean Jimmy Green currently sitting in that ninth position, with your second place position finisher last week in that beautiful 811 Dig Ford Mustang. That is the 3 of Josh Carver, currently sitting in that 10th spot. Then you got Chad Hitchcock in that 11th. And you see that Sparkle Unicorn number 2, Matthew Fitz, in that 12th spot. Wolfpack's Robbie Bice sitting in 13th. As we're going through the field, we've also got Bradley Wilson currently sitting in 14th. Brian Chu going to be in 15th with Ryan Sword in 16th. Stan Mayberry going to be in 17th. And then Logan Rhodes is going to round out your field at 18th. It looks like that 5 of Josh Abbey might have missed the grid. So he's going to actually get cycled to the back now. So he's going to have to start from the pits. That number 5 will. So if you're wondering where the other half of the booth is here tonight, my brother has actually been working his job a lot. He has not had really any off time. They've made him come in on his off days, and he has to go in on his off day tomorrow. And he's really tired. Really, he fell asleep a couple hours ago playing a video game, and I went in there to wake him up before the race, and told him, you know what, man, don't worry about it. I got you tonight. I know you're tired and everything, so we'll go ahead and we'll let you set out this night. But hey, we're gonna get you taken care of here at the last great Coliseum 135. As you see, the pace lights are off. Colin Forrester getting ready to bring these boys here to that green flag. You see the pace car off. That 19 of Brian Hubel gonna be riding that inside lane. But the green flag is out. You see the flagman, Brett the flagman, waving the flag. The 9 of Colin Forrester off to a good jump. He's going to be leaving that 19 of Brian Hubel off just a little bit. That's going to stack up that inside. You see Ed DeBauer stacking up the inside there just a little bit. Then that 88 of David Salter on that outside. So you're going to see that outside lane kind of come together here. We do know they're running open setup. So everybody getting a little crazy. Well, you see Clayton Kincart getting a little loose back there, having to get everything settled up. But he's still going here right now. Caution lap 4, calling it Michael Zuber. Already calling the cautions out here early in the Facebook chat. Good to have you here tonight, Michael. As right now, Colin Forrester pulling out to about a 6/10 gap over that 19 of Brian Hubel. Brian Hubel falling off just a little bit. Ed DeBauer still hanging on to those coattails, though. Looks like he's got a good drive coming out of turns 2. Whoa, as you see, last week's race winner, James Morgan, getting a little loose back there, but he's got it under him. You see that second place finisher behind him, Josh Carver, sitting in that 7th spot, trying to lurk his way up in here. He's got that 48 of William Brown on his outside, but we're going to go back up here on board with that 9 machine as we see that as Brian Hubel is starting to fall back just a little bit more, now down to about 7/10 of a gap. So Ed DeBauer starting to catch that back bumper. Yeah, Michael Zuber, dang, so close. Yeah, we're lap 6 still going here, but hey, it's something that we look forward to. These Full Throttle boys, they have started getting the races cleaner. We've only got 18 cars on the field here tonight, but hey, that doesn't matter at a track like Bristol. Bristol can get crazy real quick. And you see everybody's kind of single file racing right now. That 19 of Brian Hubel looks like he was going to take that middle lane. Got to slow up. Whoa, the 88 of David Salter going around here. Whoa, looks like he did hit the wall, but he's gonna get it. Gonna get her woed up. As we'll go back. We'll go back and see what happened with that. With that David Salter machine. Yeah, as it looks like it just got loose. He gets down to that inside wall. It looks like he didn't get too much damage, so that 88 machine still going to be able to make it out of here alive. Just looks like maybe, yeah, pancake that left quarter panel just a little hard there. Right now, Colin Forrester pulled that gap out to that 19 of Brian Hubel to about a second now. Whoa, see that 19 taking that really high lane. That's something you don't want to be doing here, and then hooking it down. Whoa, yeah, that's going to be something to watch here. That 19, I mean, I say not wanting to do it. You're not really wanting to hook it down there that fast because you can get really loose. It looks like David Salter and that 88 machine going to go ahead and pull it down pit lane. Unfortunate for that 88 machine. Going to have a little bit of issues here early on in the race. But that 82 of Ed DeBauer still on the lurk for that second place position. He's all over the back bumper there of that 19 machine. As you see him, he's getting a good drive in here going through turns 3 and 4. Not able to capitalize on that front straightaway. That 19 running that really high lane. Like we were saying, whenever you run that high lane and then you arc it down, you're going to get that back end loose. So that's something you don't really want to see whenever you're driving on a track like this. We're going back here just a little bit. You see that 43 of that James Morgan machine on the inside of Josh Carver in that 3811 dig machine. Looking good out there on the field right now. Currently sitting in that fifth spot where they're battling it out right now. James Morgan and that 3 battling it out for position. Yeah, as I just got message from David Salter. I said he was going to be my in-crew pit guy, and he just sent me a message, said, won't be me. That's unfortunate there for that David Salter machine, man. That's it's one of those things I hate to see every week, is it looks like somebody's out on the bottom of the track. It looks like that 18 of Brian Chew. Saw he was a couple of laps down already, so might be having a couple of issues in that 18 machine. We do know the Candy Man. He is a really talented driver, just having a lot of adversity in these early sessions. But we're gonna go back on board. It looks like the 19 of Brian Hubel starting to pull away from that 82 of Ed DeBauer. Looks like Ed DeBauer might have had a little bit of an issue there. That's going to allow that 48 of William Brown to get around him. So, woo, it's starting to mix it up here early on in the race. You see that 19 still running that high lane, but the 48 trying to stay on that inside lane. As we're riding on board here with that 48 machine, you hear that throttle work from that 48 machine, having to get out of it, having to just ride that thin line of having to be on the gas and not get the car sideways. So that 48 machine battling with the 19 here for that second place position. Brian Hubel on a very spirited run here in that second spot. Not a driver that we really get to talk about here in these races every week. So that 19 machine doing a good job up here in that second place. But you see he's battling it out right now with your Xfinity Series winner, William Brown. Whoa, William Brown getting a little loose there as well. So having to get it checked up, having to get it figured out. That 48 machine having a little bit of loose issues. We're going to go back on board here with that 9 machine of Colin Forster up 2 8/10 of a second. Now 3 seconds on the, it looks like we have a caution out. Oh, as it looks like the 19 of Brian Hubel around. It looks like also the 77 of Clayton Kincart going to be involved in it. See everybody getting around that 5 of Josh Abbey. There's the 28 of Robbie Bice, 22. 22 of Chad Hitchcock. We're going to go back on board here with Clayton Kincart. See if we can figure out what happened here with that 77 machine. Oh, as you see the 19 already fighting it coming out of turns 4. That 77 just really nowhere to go. It's unfortunate for him. We'll go back here with Brian Hubel and actually see what happened with him. Oh, as it looks like, a little bit of bump there. Oh, the 51 of Bradley Wilson going to be involved in it. Yeah, so it looks like maybe that line that I was talking about earlier, running it really high up into the corners and then diving it down towards the bottom. It looks like it finally came back to show. That's what I was talking about. You cut it down there. That 48 have nowhere to go. 19 just gets down into that quarter panel. Nothing nefarious, nothing bad like that. Just, running his racing line, and the 48 just happened to be there. That's going to bring out the caution here at lap 23, 135. So as we're riding on board here with these drivers, we're going to go ahead and go to an 811 dig side by side. Go ahead and let you not miss any of the action and get a word from our sponsors.
If recent storms have caused damage to your property, contact 811 before you begin your cleanup. Buried utilities around uprooted trees can make a bad situation worse if those lines are not located before digging. Electric, natural gas, and internet lines are everywhere, and knowing where they are is the safest way to start any digging project. Call North Carolina 811 by dialing 811 or by using single address ticket on nc811.org or the NC811 app.
When do you plan on putting in that new fence we've been talking about since last summer?
I guess I could start tomorrow.
Protect the ones you love and protect your buried utilities by contacting 811 before you dig, either by phone, the web, or the NC811 app. Know what's below before you dig. Visit nc811.org to learn more.
This tree is going to look great here.
Did you call 811 to protect your underground utilities?
I can't wait to see these roses come up.
Dig, dig, dig! Wait, we forgot to call 811.
Before you dig, make sure you can. Call 811 to know what's below. It's up to all of us to protect the ones we love.
And we welcome you back to the Last Great Coliseum 135, brought to you by 811 Dig. Just want to say a big shout out to them, Cook's Lawn Care, and Major Setup Shop for coming on board midway through the season, being a part of the Full Throttle group. Good to have them on here. But right now, pulling that 9 machine, pulling it to the Cook's Lawn Care restart zone. You see that 9 getting off to a good jump, but that 48 of William Brown getting off to an also good jump. Riding that outside lane. We always say cautions breed cautions. Wonder how long it's going to be before we have it. You see a little bit of shuffling around going back here. You see the 94 Ryan Sword shoving up into the 22 of Chad Hitchcock. That was his teammate. That was a nasty move there from that Ryan Sword machine. But hey, just probably a little bit of looseness. Whoa, 3 wide back there. You see James Morgan, Ryan Sword, and that 3 of Josh Carver going 3 wide. But now that 43 is going to be on the inside of Jimmy Green in that 23. So, whoa, seeing a lot of shuffling around going on here early on in here. You see the 43 of James Morgan, last week's race winner. Whoa, getting into the quarter panel of the 2 of Matthew Fitz. Looked like Matthew Fitz might have got up into the wall there just a little bit. That caused him to come down into that 43. But right now we're still green. Everybody's got it under control. James Morgan moved himself up into that 5th spot, his original starting position. So that 43 making a tear through the field like he did last week. Whoa, big slowdown there. 3 of Josh Carver going to have to get on the brakes really hard. Whoa, big wiggle there from that 43. Going to go back up on board here with that 48 of William Brown. See him slowly starting to fall off and lose that 9 machine of Colin Forster. Colin Forster is one of those drivers here at Bristol. We do know, as I've raced with him in the truck series, he is a very talented driver here at Bristol. So Colin Forster in that 9 machine doing a good job getting out to the front here and just kind of holding on to the lead right now. So Colin Forster doing a good job. William Brown also moving his way up 6 positions, but behind him, Scrappy, whoa, big wreck. Got the 43 of James Morgan around. It looks like caution's out. Oh, the 28 of Robbie Bice going to get into it. Looks like the 62 going to get around. Oh, it looks like that was just a chaos ensuing there, as we'll go back and see what happened with that. It looks like maybe a little bit of looseness here. We're on board here with that 28 machine, see what happened from his point of view. Oh, it looks like he's getting it slowed up. Yeah, so it happened in front of him. Okay, he was actually on there first, so we'll see Yeah, as it looks like, whoa, everybody get checked up. We'll go on board here with James Morgan, see if we can. Oh, so coming out of turns 1 and 2, it looks like at 43 getting loose, going into the corner, maybe going into it just a little too hot. Oh, and then Scrappy just come out in the middle of nowhere, and everybody having to get checked up. You can see the 5 of Josh Abbey getting a little bit of damage. Oh, and Robbie Bice just nowhere to go into that back of the 43 as we'll go back here. Watch this from James Morgan's hood cam as you see him getting into the 3 there. So go on here with that 3 machine of Josh Carver. See if there was any, see if there was a bump or anything like that causing you see getting a run there coming out of 3 and 4. Oh yeah, it looks like there was a little bit of a bump there from that 3 machine, and then you see the netcode take over there, and everything just kind of goes south from there. All right, well, lap 36, I want to say it was lap 35 when the caution did come out. We've already got our second pit stop started. Robbie Bice going ahead and staying out, with Stan Mayberry moving himself up into that second position. That 68 machine on a spirited run here up into that second spot. And then you've got that 9 machine to Colin Forster right behind him. He did come down pit lane at lap 37. So right now, Robbie Bice and Stan Mayberry, they pitted at lap 26. So both those Wolfpack guys pit at lap 26. So they're going to be on a little bit older tires than the rest of the field. Everybody did come down, minus Brian Chu, who is down, came down at lap 24, who's currently a couple laps down. It looks like Bradley Wilson, Josh Abbey, going to go ahead and pull it down pit lane. I want to say Josh Abbey did get a little bit of contact, yeah, on that right front quarter panel. So he's got a little bit of damage on that race car. But at a track like Bristol, don't really have to worry about damage all too much. Which, if you hear me sniffling just a little bit, I do apologize. I think I got a little bit of a head cold, my allergies or something's messing with me. I don't know. My nose is all kinds of runny and icky. And so if you do hear me sniffling a little bit, do apologize. But want to thank everybody out there on that Facebook, on that YouTube page. Just want to give a big shout out to everybody who came out here to watch the race here with us tonight on the Full Throttle platform. Just give us a big shout out on the YouTube, on that Facebook page. Let us know who you're pulling for. Let us know who you're watching. Make sure to like and share it to all your friends so that way nobody misses this full throttle action. You see everybody getting slowly wound up here. That 28 of Robbie Bice with his teammate. That 68 of Stan Mayberry on that outside lane. That 9 of Colin Forster right behind that Robbie Bice machine. Looks like that inside lane getting really stacked up there. The 68 of Stan Mayberry getting off to a good jump. That's going to allow the 48 of William Brown to jump out on that outside. He's going to take that line from Stan Mayberry. Looks like he's going to go to the lead here at lap 41, so we've got a new leader. Robbie Bice really having a bad start there on that inside lane. Whole inside lane got stacked up there, but it looks like everybody has been cleanly through. You see Jimmy Green, the Truck Series Championship winner, currently sitting in that 3rd spot, battling it out with that 68. Look at that 68 machine. Looks like he just pushed out of that corner with a head of steam. So he's going to get around and assume that 2nd place position. But right behind him is that 82 of Ed DeBauer, currently sitting in that 4th spot, battling it out with his IREV teammate in that 23 machine. Whoa, that 82 getting down there on the apron a little bit. That 9 trying to get around here. He sees that 82 getting down there on the apron. He wants to get around there real quick. It looks like William Brown starting to slowly pull off just a little bit. But Stan Mayberry up 15 spots. The biggest mover here on track right now, currently sitting in that 2nd spot, doing a really, really good job here, moving his way up through the field. But Jimmy Green right behind him is trying to get that head of steam up so he can get up here and battle it out with these boys. Riding on board here, that major setup on board cam. Riding on here with that 23 of Jimmy Green. Just listen to that throttle control, having to get out of the throttle just a little bit so that car can hook up and get through the corner. Do know that this is one of those tracks that these Rev Esports guys, they love this track. It's one of the ones that I know Josh Carver, he definitely loves Bristol, so it's good to see everybody out here tonight. We have a little bit of a smaller field, but it's one of those things at a short track. Not a lot of drivers do show up. It's one of those things. I don't want to get wrecked out, so I'm just going to sit out. Or I don't want to cause any issues. I'm not that good at Bristol, so they sit out. Don't want to cause any issues. But hey, doesn't matter. We've still got 18 cars out here on the track. A couple already down pit lane. It looks like Matthew Fitz currently sitting in pit lane as well. So unfortunate for that machine. Brian Chu still out on the track. Right now, that 9 machine, Colin Forrester moving on the inside of that 68 of Stan Mayberry. So he's going to be making a pass for that second place position. Stan Mayberry on a little bit older tires than everybody else. Like I said, he did come down at lap 26. Everybody else down at lap 37. So that little bit extra grip on those tires are going to be helping out that 9 machine get away from that 68. It looks like William Brown now, he's got that 9 machine of Colin Forrester breathing down his neck. You can see that gap slowly starting to get smaller and smaller. And you see Logan Rhodes, looks like he's making a pass on his teammate there of Jimmy Green. So Scrappy moving his way up through the field with a spirited charge as well, up 14 positions. Oh, and Ed DeBauer also working the inside of that 23 of Jimmy Green. Maybe Jimmy Green just wanting to hold off, not run those tires in the ground. We do know these next-gen cars, they have a weird tire model. They like to work for an X amount of laps, and then all of a sudden, it's like they just stop working. So, unlike the other tires in the other series where they, gradually fall off, these tires are one of those things where when they stop working, they just stop working. So it looks like Jimmy Green, looks like he's starting to fall back a little bit. He's got that 94 Ryan Sword and that Sparkle Unicorn 94 Ford Mustang working that outside lane. So Jimmy Green going to go ahead and give it up. Looks like caution is out here at lap 57. It looks like that 19 of Brian Hubel. We'll go back on board here and see what happened with him. Oh, you see a big shove there from the 77 of Clayton Kincart. Maybe that 77 not happy with what's going on. Oh, yeah, you see a little retaliation there from that 77 of Clayton Kincart. Maybe not liking what happened in that earlier wreck. Looks like that 77 of Clayton Kincart was not happy at all, sending that 19 of Brian Hubel around. See a big bump there from that 77. Coming down the straightaway, you see that turn in? Oh, just turned right into it. Oh, the tempers are heating up. Looks like we've got a couple of takers down pit lane. Looks like that 8 of Scrappy Logan Rhodes going to pull himself down pit lane here at lap 58. You see Ed DeBauer in that 82 machine, that E-Rev sports guy. Also, teammate also pulling down pit lane. Got that 94 Ryan Sword as well coming down pit lane in that 94 Sparkle Unicorn machine. You got the 5 of Joshua Abbey in that really, really good looking paint scheme there. Always love to see Josh Abbey's paint schemes. I'm going to get a little closer look here. Always looking good there, especially with that number moving up just a little bit. Whoa, missing his pit stall there. See the 43 of James Morgan missing that deck lid. 77 of Clayton Kincart also missing that front bumper. So it looks like Robbie Bice going to go ahead and pull himself down pit lane. See that 19 of Brian Hubel also down pit lane. So right now, the only drivers that decided to stay out was that 48 of William Brown, the 9 of Colin Forrester, Stan Mayberry, Jimmy Green, and Josh Carver. So a lot of drivers going to go ahead and take that gamble here with those pit cycles, not wanting to use those tires up too soon. It's like, you know what? Already come down, got a set of tires. We do know the tires don't wear that much here, so let's just run the set that we got. So it looks like Robbie Bice still in pit lane. Ed DeBauer going to come out in front of everybody. James Morgan going to come out in 7th place. Josh Abbey going to move himself up into 8th. Then Logan Rhodes going to be sitting in that 9th spot with Bradley Wilson. Your Cup Series championship last season, having a little bit of adversity here, coming down pit lane. Do know that that 51 of Bradley Wilson, doesn't matter what he has happened to him in that race car, he'll always come back fighting. He doesn't matter. He's always like a boxer. You know, you think he's done, but next thing you know, he comes out of nowhere with a wicked haymaker and knocks the guy out, and the next thing you know, you're like, oh, okay, he won. So Bradley Wilson, you know, never count him out. It looks like Josh Abbey also come back down pit lane, maybe taking a little bit of repair as the caution lights are out here at lap 61, or be lap 62 whenever we cross that checkered line again. But going green, these drivers are going to be pulling up to that Cook's Lawn Care restart zone. We get green here again. Well, you see a big jump there from that 48 machine, so that's going to open up the door for that Nana Colin Forrester to get off to a really good jump as well. Jimmy Green sitting in that third spot, falling back just a little bit, but he's going to get wound back up and get her caught up. See Stan Mayberry in that 68 machine, still hasn't come down pit lane, so still on those older tires. He's got that 3 of Josh Carver starting to breathe down his neck with those fresher tires. So wondering how long that 68 machine is going to be able to hang on to that fourth spot with those older tires. But right now, doing a really good job holding on to that spot. As we're going back here with Logan Rhodes, he's up 11 spots right now, currently sitting in that 7th spot. See, you got the 94 of Ryan Sword behind him in that Sparkle Unicorn machine. You see behind him, Bradley Wilson starting to creep his way back up through the field. You got Matthew Fitz, who's in between them, who's currently a couple of laps down. So Matthew Fitz had a little bit of an issue early on, unfortunate for him. Like we always say, Matthew Fitz, he's always the guy that gets caught up in the mess. He could never just have one of those races that's just normal. As right now that 9, whoa, his yellow flag's back out. Well, it looks like Stan Mayberry and that 68 machine's around. Doesn't look like he has any damage on that race car. Doesn't look like the back rear is dinged up just a little bit. We'll have to go back and see what happened with that 68 machine. Whoa, as it looks like the 82 of Ed DeBauer and that 68 were just fighting over that same real estate. Looks like the 68 coming out of that bottom lane. You see the 82 riding that middle lane. Yeah, it looks like maybe that 68 got a little loose coming up into that straightaway, and then you see him just get turned sideways. See the 88 there of David Salter trying to get her slowed up. The 68 just that head of momentum, just not able to do anything. That 88 going to get into the back bumper of his teammate. But hey, doesn't look like there was a lot of damage. See the 43 there, James Morgan also collecting up just a little bit. But the 68 going to back it up. And he's going to live to see another day. Yeah, as it looks like everybody's coming down pit lane. It looks like Colin Forrester, Ed DeBauer, James Morgan, everybody down pit lane here at the third caution of the night. Looks like the 3 of Josh Carver going to try to make it out in front of everybody. Whoa, is the 9 going to make it out? Whoa, look at that. Colin Forrester going to win that race off of pit lane. Josh Carver going to come out in that 2nd spot with Jimmy Green in that 3rd position. Ryan Sword moving his way up through the field, up 12 positions, currently sitting in that 4th spot with Logan Rhodes rounding out your top 5. So we saw a lot of drivers sitting down pit lane. A lot of unfortunate nights here as it looks like Brian Chew still trying to battle out that those lap down bugs that he has been battling all night. It looks like the 68 of Stan Mayberry also going to go a lap down here. So not out of the fight yet. We did see that 68 machine go a couple of laps down not too long ago, and then come back, get back into the fight. So hey, never count yourself out when you're a couple of laps down. But right now, Colin Forrester getting her controlled around. You got that 3 of Josh Carver right behind him. The field's starting to get a little thinner now. As the iRacing pace car should be taking that hard left-hand turn. That 9 of Colin Forrester bringing us back to that Cook's Lawn Care restart zone. He's off to a good jump. That 3 of Josh Carver didn't get off to the best jump on that outside lane, but he's going to fall into that second spot. Jimmy Green going to fall in behind him in that third spot. And you see Ryan Sword right behind him, and then William Brown taking it to the inside. Looks like he was going to take that inside lane on Scrappy, but decided not to do it. See Ryan Sword getting a really big head of steam coming out of the corner. Almost getting into the back of that 23, but getting it checked up, not getting into that back bumper. Right now, Colin Forster's got that 3 of Josh Carver all over the back bumper. We do know Carver, once he gets up here to the front, he gets that front position locked into his sights. He does not give it up. So that 3 machine on a spirited drive right now as well, up 8 positions. But Jimmy Green falling back just a little bit from his teammate, and that 3 machine looks like stacking it up just a little bit, maybe having to get out of the gas just a little bit more than everybody else. To that 48 machine trying to ride up on that inside lane, but just going to go ahead and tuck it in behind him. And then you see right behind him that 94 of Ryan Sword battling it out with the 15 of Bradley Wilson. Whoa, big wreck there. It looks like 3. Oh no, it looks like the 3 of Josh Carver getting around. Oh, Joshua Abbey also getting into it. Riding on board here with that 3 of Josh Carver. Oh, it looks like just coming out of turn 4. Oh, it just got sideways. Oh, the 94. Oh, Scrappy getting into it. Oh, you see Josh Abbey just nowhere to go there. That 3 machine just getting down into his path. You see the 3 just getting really loose up there. You see the 94 Ryan Sword looks like he might have made it through there with just a little bit of room to spare, but then Josh Abbey just bam right into the quarter of that car. So unfortunate there for that 3 of Josh Carver. We're gonna go on board here with him, see what he saw. Yeah, as you see, it just gets loose there, and that's all she wrote. All right, and we're under our 5th caution here tonight. If it's sounding kind of strange in the booth here tonight, just letting everybody know, my brother he's been working a lot, and he fell asleep earlier, and I just felt like, you know what, he hasn't had any off days in the last couple of weeks, so I just let him sleep and said, you know what, I'm gonna do it tonight and let him sleep. So Josh, I guess whenever you go back and watch this at work tomorrow, just know, love you, brother. Hopefully you feel better. I'm sorry you're having to work so much, but hey, next week it'll be right back to the way it was, like it normally is, with all the crazy Josh screaming and yelling. But just a big shout out to everybody out there on that Facebook, on that YouTube page. If you haven't done it yet, make sure to like that YouTube page, like the video on YouTube. Make sure to subscribe, hit that notification bell, so that way you know when we go live, when we have the races set up every Sunday at 8:05 Eastern. So that way you never miss any of it. And if you can't find it, then make sure to just go check out the Facebook. There's always post up on the Facebook to let everybody know when it is going good. But just a big shout out here to 811 Dig for being a part of the Full Throttle experience. They came on board, made it a really good experience here for Josh and I in the booth, and for the Full Throttle bunch. So big shout out to them. Also, big shout out to Cook's Lawn Care for coming on halfway through the season, being a part of the league. And also, like we always say, Major Setup Shop. I've used their setups a little bit. They are actually really good long run setups. So if you're ever looking for any setups, make sure to go check out Major Setup. But Right now, it looks like the pace car is bringing it around. We might be going around. Nope, looks like pace lights are out, so we will be going green this time around. Like I was saying, look at that. That 51 of Bradley Wilson up into that fourth spot. It's one of those things. Doesn't matter if you see him coming down pit lane 1,500 times. He's still going to be up there in the front, in the lead. So it looks like Stan Mayberry got himself back out onto the lead lap, so that is good for him. That 68 machine having that little bit of an incident, but right now we've got, it looks like 7 or 8 cars just sitting up here on the lead lap. So 7 cars actually. So field is starting to get a little smaller. Ryan Sword, Josh Carver, Ed DeBauer, Robbie Bice all down pit lane. That pace car is off. 9 going to pull it to the Cooks Lawn Care restart zone, and we are off at lap 82, 83 of 135 here. Excuse me, 82. As we're off to a good start, you see the 51 of Bradley Wilson getting a little loose. That 48 of William Brown still all over that back bumper, though. William Brown trying to get a good spirited finish here tonight. You know, he did win the Xfinity Series, so he is one of those drivers that knows how to get out here, knows how to drive it on this track. I did have to race them in the Truck Series whenever I was running in the Full Throttle Series, and I will say, any of these guys up here in the front, Colin Forrester, Bradley Wilson, William Brown, Jimmy Green, any of those guys, man, they are just fast. Right now, it looks like that 9 of Colin Forrester is the fastest right now. Actually, I say that Bradley Wilson just set the fastest time on the track, 14.22. So Bradley Wilson setting the fastest time here at lap 84. So that 51 machine showing that, hey, we've still got a lot of drive in these tires. We're still going. But right now, it looks like William Brown's starting to fall off just a little bit from that 9 machine of Colin Forrester. So it's going to open up the door for Bradley Wilson. He's starting to peak on that outside lane. Looks like maybe that 51 has found something working here on that top lane. Driving back on board through the field just so that way everybody can see where everybody is at. Right on board here with that 8 of Logan Rhodes, currently sitting in 8th spot, missing that front bumper. Had an unfortunate turn of events there. See the 82. Whoa, it looks like somebody got down into the wall. Maybe that was, no, it was not Robbie Bice. That would have been the 88. David Salter. It was the 88 of David Salter. Unfortunate for that 88. He's having a lot of issues. I was gonna get him in the booth as the pit reporter, but you know, seeing him not have a really spirited night here tonight, don't really want to bother him. Pulling him up into the booth. I know how that feels when you just have a bad night and you don't want to be messed with. I know those feelings all too well. So unfortunate turn of events there for that 88 machine. But hey, David, like we always say, man, don't look down, always look up. You know, just try your best, man. Right now, it looks like that 51 starting to fall off just a little bit from that 48. As I say that, they start picking up a little bit of momentum here. Right now, Colin Forrester out to almost a second gap on that 48 machine. So that 48 machine starting to fall off just a little bit to Colin Forrester. Colin Forrester on a really spirited drive. It looks like Matthew Fitz has crashed. Caution is out. Yeah, maybe that 2 machine down there on the bottom of the track might have got those rear wheels out on the racing surface. And iRacing going to go ahead and throw that yellow flag as we'll go back on board here with that 2 machine and see what happened. Oh, as it looks like Jimmy Green got up into the wall. Looks like Jimmy Green got up into the wall, had to check up, and then Matthew Fitz just happened to be in the wrong place at the wrong time. That's unfortunate for that 2 machine. Like I say, every week, that 2 machine just always in the wrong place at the wrong time. Unfortunate for that Sparkle Unicorn number 2. As we'll go back on board here and see that from his point of view. Yeah, you see the 23 getting up into the wall there. Yeah, just getting loose. Really nowhere for that Matthew Fitz machine to go. Just unfortunate for that 2 machine. As we're under the 6th caution here at lap 94 of 135, we're going to go ahead and go to another 811 dig side by side so you won't miss any of the action, and we'll be right back after a word from our sponsors.
If recent storms have caused damage to your property, contact 811 before you begin your cleanup. Buried utilities around uprooted trees can make a bad situation worse if those lines are not located before digging. Electric, natural gas, and internet lines are everywhere, and knowing where they are is the safest way to start any digging project. Call North Carolina 811 by dialing 811 or by using single address ticket on nc811.org or the NC811 app.
When do you plan on putting in that new fence we've been talking about since last summer?
I guess I could start tomorrow.
Protect the ones you love and protect your buried utilities by contacting 811 before you dig, either by phone, the web, or the NC811 app. Know what's below. Before you dig, visit nc811.org to learn more.
This tree is going to look great here.
Did you call 811 to protect your underground utilities?
I can't wait to see these roses come up.
Dig, dig, dig! Wait, we forgot to call 811.
Before you dig, make sure you can. Call 811 to know what's below. It's up to all of us to protect the ones we love. If recent storms have caused damage to your property, contact 811 before you begin your cleanup. Buried utilities around uprooted trees can make a bad situation worse if those lines are not located before digging. Electric, natural gas, and internet lines are everywhere, and knowing where they are is the safest way to start any digging project. Call North Carolina 811 by dialing 811 or by using single address ticket on nc811.org or the NC811 app.
All right, and we welcome you back from that 811 dig side by side. As you see the pace car pulling off, that 9 machine going to go ahead and pull it to the restart zone. He's going to get a good jump. That 23 of Jimmy Green, who had a little bit of incident there with that 2 of Matthew Fitz, currently sitting in that second spot. You see the 22 of Chad Hitchcock moving his way up through the field in that 4th spot, but Bradley Wilson getting a really good tear out of turns 1 and 2. And he's going to be all over the back bumper of that 9 machine of Colin Forster. If you're Colin Forster right now, you're looking up in that rear view mirror. You see that Bradley Wilson machine, who's already got 5 wins on the season. See if he can make it 6 this time tonight. It's Bradley Wilson looking like he's on a really good tear. You see the 5 of Josh Abbey on the bottom of the track, probably trying to get through pit lane. Looks like that 22 of Chad Hitchcock right now coming under fire from that 68 of Stan Mayberry. Stan Mayberry moved his way up into that 3rd spot. Excuse me, 4th spot. So Jimmy Green now is his next driver. Oh, you see the 68 getting to the wall just a little bit. He's going to pancake that right side, but it's not going to really affect it that much. He's going to get out of the corner. He's going to be okay. So Colin Forster right now coming into a little bit of lap traffic. He's got that 94 Ryan Sword getting a little loose. Whoa, a little bit of net code there. You saw that 94 machine bump that 9 machine. Woo! That was really close there. That could have spelled disaster for that 9 machine. Ended his night prematurely, as you see right now. That 94 getting passed by that 51 of Bradley Wilson. We're going to go back on here with that Stan Mayberry machine. Looks like he's battling for 3rd place with that 23 of Jimmy Green. Jimmy Green going to go ahead and surrender that 3rd spot. So right now, Stan Mayberry moved himself up onto that podium position in that Wolfpack 68 machine. Doing a good job. As you see the 48 there of William Brown getting around Jimmy Green. Jimmy Green might be having a little bit of tire issues here. Yeah, he's on older tires right now. It looks like Colin Forster and Jimmy Green on lap 68 old tires. Last time they come down pit lane was lap 68. So right now, Bradley Wilson on lap 94 tires. He's got the freshest tires up here in the front. And then Stan Mayberry on lap 94 old tires as well. So right now, the top 3, the 2 in the 2nd and 3rd place, are the only ones with the better tires. But William Brown, actually I say that, now William Brown coming up. He pitted at lap 95 on a mad tear, trying to catch up to that 68 machine. Jimmy Green getting worked on the inside by that 77 of Clayton Kincart. Also, you see the 5 of Josh Abbey. Those 2 cars are a lap down, so not currently fighting for position. We're going to go back on board here with that 51 as you see him starting to slowly catch that 9 of Colin Forster. He's riding that top lane. You see, that's the way you ride that top lane right there. You have to ride it all the way up there to the top. Right now, we're going back on board with that 68 of Stan Mayberry. He's got that 48 working that back bumper. So you're going to start seeing that 48 start trying to work that inside lane. See if he can get that 68 to just surrender that third spot. As I just realized my mic was muted, the 51 making a move on the inside of Colin Forster. Colin Forster going to have to go to the top lane. So it's going to be a drag race down the front stretch. It looks like the 9 of Colin Forster going to make that outside lane work just a little bit better. You see the 51 not really wanting to be where he's wanting to be right now. He wants to be on that outside lane where that 9 of Colin Forster is. But right now, looks like William Brown got around that 68 as I was trying to call it out as my mic was muted. Do apologize about that. But right now, it looks like William Brown moved himself up to that podium spot. So Stan Mayberry still in the fight, though. He can make up that ground and get up here. But with 22 laps to go, you're wondering how these drivers are going to start making up that position. But right now, Colin Forster only got about a quarter of a second between him and that 9 machine, or that 51 machine. So Bradley Wilson looks like he's going to start trying to make that outside lane work. See that 9 of Colin Forster trying to hold that outside lane. He sees that 51 of Bradley Wilson is running that outside lane. Probably sees that it's working a little better than what he was running. Right now, we'll go back on board here with your closest battle for position. You've got Logan Rhodes in that 8 machine getting hunted down by that 22. The 22 getting really loose. Going to go back on board here with that 51 and that 9 right now. See the 9 machine starting to come up into a little bit of lap traffic. It's going to be the 23 of Jimmy Green. Jimmy Green's about to go a lap down. So those older tires are starting to show their ugly head. Jimmy Green in a really bad spot. So that 23 going to go ahead and go a lap down here with 17 laps to go. The laps just go by so quick here at Bristol. We're already down to 17 laps to go. But right now, Colin Forster on a really spirited drive, still hanging on to where he qualified, where he started the race. So trying to just hang on to that position. But when you got that 51 machine of Bradley Wilson all over that back bumper, it's hard to focus. See the 51 of Bradley Wilson riding that really, really high lane. He is trying to get up there and use as much track as he can. Well, it looks like Bradley Wilson might have got into the wall just a little bit back there. So maybe have a little bit of issue from that 51 machine. Looks like he's starting to lose a little bit of pace there to that 9 of Colin Forster. William Brown now about a 4 3/4 second, now about 5-second gap between him and that second place position. So William Brown trying to catch up to that position. It looks like that 68 of Stan Mayberry. Looks like he's just having a little bit of tire issues as well. Starting to fall back a little bit. He's got that 94 of Ryan Sword on his back bumper back there, but he is not currently fighting for position. So we'll go back on board here with that 9 machine as we've got 12 laps to go. It's starting to get really good here coming down to the lawn. You see that 9 machine trying to run that middle to high lane. That is definitely where you want to be running. You don't want to be trying to cut that corner down as much. Like I was saying earlier, you get a lot of wheel spin coming out of the corners. So you want to watch out for that. Whoa, it looks like the 51 got up into the wall again, but he's still running that really, really high lane as we're going to go on board here with that 51C. Look at that, running right up against the wall. It's coming up on lap traffic. Whoa, it looks like somebody just blew up. It looks like the 5 of Josh Abbey just lost an engine. 5 of Josh Abbey smoking down the backstretch. Yep, he has blown his engine. Unfortunate there for that 5 of Josh Abbey. Whoa, 43 of Clayton Kincard whoa! Whoa, the 9 of Colin Forster goes around. Green flag still out. Whoa, it looks like the 51 had a little bit of an incident. He's missing the front bumper. It looks like Colin Forster still able to get going. It doesn't look like the caution's out. Oh, the 43, 51 getting into it. That's going to bring out the caution here. As you saw, Looks like a lot of wrecking going on there. You saw Colin Forster go around. I wonder if the 51 got into the back bumper. We'll see. See it. Oh, you see the 43 getting checked up there. Okay, so that's what happened. I saw that the 51 was missing that front deck lid. I didn't know if maybe the 9 had gotten rear-ended from that 51, but it looks like the 43 got checked up there. That 9 came out on the bottom of the lane. Yeah, came out in that little bit of a pocket in out of the turn 4. You see the back end going around. He did save it off of the wall, but then you're going to see him get into it again. But you see Bradley Wilson, he's missing that front deck lid now, so don't know where unless he got into the back of the 43. Yeah, right there. Okay, you see he gets into the back bumper of the 43. The 43 gets loose. And you see the 51. Looks like he was trying to shoot that gap. 43 was riding that top lane, but looks like maybe he got a little loose. Oh, there we go, shooting the gap. You see Josh Carver. There you go. He was trying to shoot that gap. The 43 just same place, same time. 51 sent him around. All right, so we've got 3 to go here under the 7th caution here at the Last Great Coliseum 135, brought to you by 811 Dig. Just like I said, want to appreciate everybody that's out there on that Facebook, on that YouTube chat. So we got a lot of cars up here in the front, missing the front bumpers, missing a lot of that, a lot of those car parts. So it's gonna be between, that 51 of Bradley Wilson, 48 of William Brown, Stan Mayberry currently sitting in that 3rd spot, could be his night, and you got that 94 of Colin Forster, who's also out. Right now, it looks like the top 3 did not come down pit lane, did not take tires. So that 9 of Colin Forster going to have the freshest tires, and then behind him, Logan Rhodes also going to have fresher tires. So going to be an interesting thing to see what happens here as we're going to go to the first green-white checker. Not the first official green-white checker, but it will be the first green-white checker. If they do have another caution come out, it will be the start of the green-white checkers. See the pace car getting that left-hand turn. Bradley Wilson getting off to a big jump there, trying to get off to the big start. See the 51 diving it into turns 1 right now. Looks like he's going to have the preferred line going into the corner. That 9 of Colin Forster, he's got the better tires. Let's see if that 9 machine's going to do anything to say it. As if we get around to the white flag, next flag will end it. So right now, the 48 of William Brown tucking on the inside. Let's see what happens here. 3 wide down the backstretch. Looks like the 51's going to make it through. Oh, the bump. The 9's going to bump the 48 out of the way. Logan Scrappy's going to get it. The 51 is going to win. Oh, my goodness. Bradley Wilson taking home the win as you saw the 48 of William Brown going around off of the quarter panel. I want to say of the 9 of Colin Forster. Colin Forster going to pull himself into that 2nd spot. And then Logan Rhodes having a lot of adversity, going to pull himself up into that 3rd spot. So Bradley Wilson out here showing the boys that he still knows how to do it, even whenever he has adversity. So Bradley Wilson burning it down. unofficial race results. Gonna pull it up on the screen. As you saw, Bradley Wilson taking home that victory. As you see, the 43 of 43 of James Morgan just comes charging out of nowhere. As right now, Bradley Wilson doing that burnout, currently your race winner. Then you got Colin Forrester, who was trying to get up there and get into that position, but going to finish in that second spot. And you got Logan Rhodes, scrappy, moving his way up through the field, doing a good job getting up into that third spot. And then you got Stan Mayberry in fourth, Jimmy Green in fifth, William Brown in sixth, Chad Hitchcock in seventh, Brian Chu in eighth, James Morgan in ninth, Joshua Abbey in 10th, Joshua Abbey in 10th, with Clayton Kincard in 11th, Ryan Sword in 12th, Ed DeBauer in 13th, Matthew Fritz in 14th, David Salter in 15th, Josh Carver in 16th, Robbie Bice in 17th, and Brian Hubel going to round out your field. So we're going to go ahead and see if we've got our drivers ready to go in the chat. Looks like we've got Bradley Wilson. Just going to wait 1 second, see if we can get a couple more of those drivers into the chat before we start. But we'll go ahead and pull Bradley Wilson up here in just 1 second. All right, we'll go ahead and get your race winner into the booth. Bradley Wilson, Chris Kiwi's in the booth. You got a copy, buddy? Hey, buddy, it's just gonna be me in the booth tonight. So doing it a little weird. Josh having the night off. Just told him to go asleep. So just gonna be me up in the booth. How you doing tonight, man? Yeah, I was gonna say, my first question was gonna be, man, we saw that 51 machine having a little bit of issues early on. Saw you coming down pit lane a couple of times, maybe have a little speeding penalty. Josh normally has all of the race control stuff going, so he gets to hear what goes on. But saw that 51 machine have a little bit of adversity. Like I said in the stream, you never count out that 51 machine. It's one of those things where you never count out the 51 machine. So walk us through that. Those last couple of laps. I saw you getting up there, mixing it up with the boys. Then I saw James Morgan. And that little bit of an incident go on there. Walk us through what happened.
It's just classic miscommunication. I didn't tell him that I was going to shoot middle there and accidentally spun him out. I thought the race was going to be pretty much over because my car's pretty killed and my right front was destroyed. And we ended up bouncing off the wall just a little bit because my right front's at like 20%, but we get 3 wide off the corner and I knew I had to block low, so I shot it down there. Colin gave me a bump, held on to it, and just all around a good night besides early damage.
Yeah, I was gonna say it was one of those things, like I was talking about through the stream. It's one of those Bradley Wilson-esque kind of nights. I want to say this is your 6th win of the season. You always have that adversity, come your way. You always have a wreck or you get, spun or something happens. Got a little bit of damage on that race car, but it's like, it doesn't even affect you. Never phases you. You always charge up through the back of the, from the back of the pack up to the front of the field. You're always on a spirited drive through the field, even with that damage. So, Bradley, it's good to have you up here in the booth and good to see you walk away here with the win tonight. If you've got any final words, thoughts, shout-outs, or anything you want to say before we let you go, man, you can throw them out here now.
Shout out to all my teammates, Joshua Abbey, Clayton Kincard, James Morgan. It would definitely be pretty boring doing some of these races without them, and especially with all the cautions in this one, it definitely was a little more fun having to talk with them and hyping me up there at the end to go out there and seek this win. Everyone over at ShenandoahShine.co, Martin Sports 906, my dad for helping me out all these 13 years that I've been racing. You for broadcasting, Josh, wherever he is. If he's feeling sick, I hope he feels better. My family for always supporting me, and don't buy anything from GTR.
Yes, sir. Yeah, no, he's feeling a little bit under the weather. He hasn't had any off days in the last couple of weeks, so he got tonight. His off days tomorrow. They're telling him he's got to come into work. Again off on his next off day. So I just told him, I was like, look, man, go to sleep, get you some rest. We'll pick it up next week. But yeah, Bradley, good charge. Good to have you up here in the booth, man. Congratulations on that first place win, and hopefully we'll have you up here next week.
All right, thank you. And of course, I can't forget Elite Performance Industries for this rocket ship of a set.
There you go too. Can't forget them sponsors, man. All right, Bradley. Well, it's good to have you up here in the booth. Congratulations on that first place win, and hopefully we'll talk to you next week.
All right, thank you. Hope you feel better, Josh.
Yes, sir. I will relay that to him. That was Bradley Wilson, your first place winner. Go ahead and pull that 9 of Colin Forster up into the booth. Have a word with him. Colin Forster, Chris, in the booth. You got a copy, buddy?
Yes, sir, I do.
Hey, buddy. Josh isn't here tonight, so going to be doing a couple of things different. A little bit under the weather, Josh is, so told him to go ahead and go to sleep. So just going to be me up here, but man, that was a spirited drive. You stuck in the lead pretty much the whole time. Had a little bit of incident there. You had a couple of lap traffic cars starting to get into it there. I want to say it was the 43 of James Morgan had a little bit of an issue in front of you, and then I saw you come out of the corner. It looks like you might have got down in that little pocket coming out of the corner, and you got spun around there. But hey, man, you still charged up, back after that little bit of a spin, and you took that second place home, man. What was going through your mind whenever you had that spin, and how'd you collect from it?
Definitely was hard to, or definitely the lap cars affected me, I think, because he was on the apron and he slid right back up in front of me, and I slammed on the brakes and it just snapped loose on me. So it was hard to gather it up. Just unfortunate it happened. But luckily, I still had a set of tires in the pits, and I was just able to get them. And one more lap, I would have had Bradley. I'm about 99% sure I would have. But definitely a good race to Bradley. I need whatever setup he has.
Yeah, Bradley's setup was definitely on rails. Like I was saying in the broadcast, it's one of those things about Bradley. You always see him get wrecked, and you're like, okay, the guy that's really good, he got wrecked out. Now I can just kind of, breathe a sigh of relief and focus. But man, when that 51 machine, even if he has damage, he can still tear it up. And, like I was saying, you got that little bit of a spin around, but you were able to collect it up. You did get the caution come out. You're able to get it collected up. And like you said, one more lap, you would have had that. But hey, man, spinning at a track like Bristol, and walking away with very little damage. You did get into the inside wall a little bit, but hey, to walk away with just a little bit of damage like that, and the second place finish, even though I know you wanted to get that pole or that podium position, but hey. Second place, I guess it's not, like Josh always said, nothing to hang your head at. Still had a really good drive. But hey, Colin, if you got any words, thoughts, final shout outs, anything you want to say before we let these fans go, you're more than welcome to throw
Just
them out.
shout out everyone in the league for having me. I look forward to these races every Sunday, and shout out to all my teammates. I guess I'm technically part of Team Spark Unicorn now, since all my teammates are gone. But just shout out to you guys, or you doing the broadcast. Hopefully Josh feels better. Hopefully he can recover and be here next week. And that's all I have, and thank you very much, sir.
Thank you, Colin. We really appreciate you being taking the time to come up here in the booth and talk to us, and always putting on one hell of a show for the fans and for me and Josh. When he is here, we always enjoy watching you guys race. So good to have you up here in the booth, and hopefully we'll talk to you next week. But Colin,
right.
Good job on your second place finish, and we'll talk to you next week.
All right, thank you very much, sir.
All right. And that was Colin Forster. Going to go ahead and grab that third place finisher of Scrappy Logan Rhodes. Going to go ahead and get him up here in the booth. Logan Rhodes, Chris Kiwi's in the booth. You got a copy, buddy?
Yes, sir. How you?
I am doing good. It's all me tonight. Josh feeling a little bit under the weather, like I told everybody 100 times. Just no off days. Not really having. He's really tired, and he fell asleep a couple hours ago, and I just told him, you know what, just go to sleep. So just me up here in the booth. So gonna keep it quick, gonna keep it short, because I'm not as good as talking as him. But anyway, Logan, saw you have a lot of stuff go on here later on in that race. Saw you get into a couple of incidents. A lot of incidents. Weren't your fault. Weren't really anybody's fault. Just one of those things where wrong place, wrong time. But hey, man, you brought what Josh always calls the glorified modifieds to you brought it to third place, man. What was it like out there battling with those guys? Because like I said, we saw you having to go through a lot of hell and tribulation to get up there into that third place position.
Hey, it's Bristol, baby. What can you say? I mean, we're going to beat and bang. And I was a little worried there when we got that first damage. It crinkled it up pretty good. And But I noticed we were still running pretty competitive lap times, and I was fortunate that that late caution come out, and I had a set of tires left, and I just got back on the lead lap. But it's, like I said, it's Bristol. You don't have to have a front end to run fast.
Yeah, it's one of those things like I was saying during the broadcast, it's one of aero damage doesn't really affect you as long as you can keep the tires gripped up and you can keep the car going straight, a lot of the coming out of the corners, saw a lot of drivers taking that high lane, diving it down out of the corners. That back end getting a little loose. Seeing a lot of wiggling and wobbling. So it's one of those things where you just got to hit the right line. It doesn't really matter what that aero package is. But hey, Scrappy, like I said, man, did a good job moving yourself up 15 positions, got yourself into that third spot. Nothing to hang your head at. Like Josh always says, nothing to hang your head at. Especially at a track like Bristol when you have all that beating and banging and stuff going on. But hey, man, good job moving up through the field. But if you've got any final words, thoughts, shout outs before we let you go, you can throw them out here now.
Yeah, first, get well, Mr. Kiwi. Well, we miss you here. I always want to thank my guys at Rev. We put a lot of time into setups and practicing, and it takes a lot to do what we do. So I thank all the guys back there. Rev them up, hammer them down. Thank God, as always. I want to thank all the guys here at Full Throttle. Thank you guys for putting on a hell of a broadcast. We want to thank 811 Dig, Call Before You Dig, Cook's Lawn Care, Major's Garage, all the support we get for those guys so we can come out here and do what we do.
Heck yeah, man. Well, Scrappy, like I said, it is a pleasure to always have you up here in the booth. Any of the Full Throttle guys to be up here in the booth. I'm not biased. I don't care. I love everybody in this series. So good to have you up here in that third place spot, man. And hopefully next week we can have you up here in the booth talking to you again.
Yes, sir.
All right. You have a good night, man.
Good night, buddy.
All right, and that is Logan Rhodes, your third place finisher. Well, that's going to round us up here at the Last Great Coliseum 135 by NC811 Dig here tonight. Just want to give a big shout out to NC811 Dig for putting up all of the resources and all of the help and everything that they've done to bring this series alive. I do know that Robbie and all the guys back in, all the guys that run Full Throttle, I know they really appreciate it too. Just a big shout out to them. Big shout out to Cook's Lawn Care. Do really appreciate them coming on board as well. Major Setup Garage as always. And like I always say every week, we couldn't do it without you guys out there, guys, gals, parents, family members, anybody out there watching on that Facebook, on that YouTube page. We could not do it without you guys, so we really appreciate everybody out there watching. But just want to give a big shout out to Robbie Bice, to David Salter, to all of the everybody on that Full Throttle roster. We really appreciate everything that you guys have done and let us do. But that's gonna be it from us here at Bristol. Make sure to check us out next week. As I'm getting the schedule pulled up. I thought I had it pulled up, but guess I did not. As we're going to be going to the Las Vegas Motor Speedway for the Sin City 120, the 21st of November. So it's going to be a very interesting night that night. We do know Las Vegas is, it is a lot of fun to drive. So going to be very interesting to see these next gen boys get out here and throw it down. But like I said, for Josh Kiwis, I'm going to say good night. And for myself, I want to say good night and appreciate everybody out there on that Facebook and YouTube. And we'll see you next week.